Wowie zowie, it's finally time for another moveset. It only took about 7 months. Welcome to the official second episode of Special Smash, where I take wacky characters and I give them movesets. Today, I suppose you consider this pick a little less wacky than Monopoly, but our character of choice, or characters, is gonna be from the illustrious Galar region. Now I know this is a very uncontroversial opinion, and I know everyone agrees with it, but I love Pokemon Sword and Shield. The music is fantastic, the atmosphere overall feels really nice, the characters are pretty dang cool, and especially the Pokemon designs are bangers. And Sword and Shield gives us a lot of different possibilities for who could be the potential Smash rep. I'd say 3 of the most obvious picks would be, Obstagoon, because that would not only rep Gen 8, but also Gen 3, which we don't have, and it would show the regional evolution, which is a very interesting gimmick. I'd say maybe Toxtricity would be a good pick, because, they're like this gen's Lucario. They're really popular, they're pretty sick, everyone loves them. Or maybe you're a monkey boy like myself and you'd like Rillaboom. Now I know you may want Rillaboom because we would need another Primate, of course, but this could also complete the trilogy of fully evolved starters, right? There with so many picks, how does one choose which one to put in Smash? The answer's pretty simple. You put them all together. And that's why this moveset is going to be Galar's most charismatic band, the Maximizers. The Maximizers is a band entirely made up of Pokemon consisting of Obstagoon, the 2 Toxtricities, and Rillaboom, and I think there is no better way to rep Galar than to use the rock and roll band that it comes with. Now let's address the elephant in the room, of course. There are 2 Toxtricities in this moveset. Think of them as echoes of each other in the same character. Amp Toxtricity is going to have stronger electric attacks as well as melee attacks, and Low-Key Toxtricity is going to have stronger poison attacks and the ones that aren't really melee attacks. But other than that, their movesets are going to be completely identical, so I'm just going to say Toxtricity has this, because it applies to both. And before we get into the actual moveset, Obstagoon would be the fastest and the lightest, and Rillaboom would be the slowest and the heaviest, and the Toxtricities would be somewhere in between. And without further ado, let's rock! Obstagoon's jab would be 2 claw swipes followed by an X scissor motion. Toxtricity would have a rapid jab, where he rapidly strums his skin flaps, as small electric particles fly out, similar to Robin. This ends with Toxtricity striking a sign of the horns. Rillaboom's jab would be a spammable 2-hit where he bangs his drumsticks. For dash attacks, Obstagoon would do a rockstar slide forward on his knees. Toxtricity would put his head forward and shoot electricity out. And Rillaboom, being the big boy of the band, would shoulder check anyone in his way. For the F-tilt, Obstagoon would lick forward with his weird long tongue. Toxtricity would do a thunder punch forward, and Rillaboom would do a clap. For the up tilt, Obstagoon would stab his claws upward. Toxtricity does a headbang, and Rillaboom, in similar fashion, whips his hair around. And for down tilt, Obstagoon would do a downwards claw stab. Toxtricity would do a leg sweep, and Rillaboom would roll forward like DK's dash attack. Moving on to smash attacks, Obstagoon's F smash would be a devastating claw swipe forward, surrounded by dark energy. Toxtricity's F smash would be a strong jab forward, like poison jab. And for Rillaboom's F smash, he takes the drum and swings it around forward. For the up smash, Obstagoon screams to the sky. Toxtricity does a motion similar to Greninja's up smash, but in a poison attack, similar to the move Cross Poison. and Rillaboom swats the drumsticks above him, like using Razor Leaf. For the down smash, Obstagoon kicks out his leg and then swings it backwards, like Captain Falcon's. Toxtricity slaps the ground as shockwaves form on both sides of him. And Rillaboom, well, it's just DKs, but he's holding drumsticks. I swear, this isn't just DK. Rillaboom will be different. Moving on to aerials, Obstagoon's neutral air will be the first of many rock and roll references that I'm making in this moveset, and he'll do David Lee Roth's karate kick, where he kicks out his legs on both sides of him and touches his toes in the air. Toxtricity's neutral air will be a little front flip in the air, with the sweet spot of course being the little mohawk on his head. And Rillaboom's neutral air will quickly have him swing the drum around him. Obstagoon has the forward aerial, but it doesn't spike, and it's faster, so it's like Banjo's, but faster. Toxtricity shoots acid forward for his forward air, and Rillaboom does a clap with his feet. For the back air, Obstagoon turns his big ol' head around and shouts behind him. Toxtricity sprays acid backwards, and Rillaboom does a backwards thrust with his drum jutting out. Obstagoon's up air is an upwards headbang similar to Toxtricity's up tilt. Meanwhile, Toxtricity's up air will have him shoot electricity upwards with his head. And Rillaboom's up air will be a headbutt upwards. When you're a rough and grungy punk band, you gotta risk everything, and that means using your head when it counts. And for the down air, Obstagoon does a knee strike, Toxtricity does the up air but downwards, and Rillaboom stomps down like he's hitting a kick drum. Toxtricity's of course has the best spike potential. Obstagoon will grab with 2 hands, and Toxtricity and Rillaboom will grab with 1. Obstagoon will bite the opponent, Toxtricity will knee the opponent, and Rillaboom will beat him with a drumstick. For the forward throw, Obstagoon headbutts the opponent away. For Toxtricity, he also does a headbutt away. And Rillaboom will swing the opponent around and toss him away, which is a reference to this funny video. For the back throw, Obstagoon will bite the opponent and throw them behind him with his snake-like neck. Toxtricity will grab the opponent and slam them over his shoulder like he's smashing a guitar. And Rillaboom will do a simple over-the-shoulder toss. For the up throw, Obstagoon will lift the opponent up and push him upwards like a mosh pit. Toxtricity puts his head to the opponent and shoots them upwards with electricity. And Rillaboom will slap his drum, which will cause a vine to shoot upwards, launching the opponent. For the down throw, Obstagoon will hug the opponent and slam them to the ground. Toxtricity will hold the opponent like a guitar and strum them against the ground. And Rillaboom will hoist himself upwards using the opponent and come down with his drum, burying the opponent. Now we're finally on to the specials, and Obstagoon's neutral B will be the most down B move of all time, Obstruct. Obstruct is going to be in the same vein as a counter, but it won't deal damage. Instead, it'll make the opponent weaker for a short time if they hit the shout cloud. What is that? Toxtricity's neutral B will be Overdrive. It'll have short startup lag before Toxtricity does a powerful strum, surrounding himself in an electric field and dealing damage on all sides of it. And Rillaboom's neutral special will be Drum Beating. If you press the B button, Rillaboom will begin beating his drum, and when you let go, a vine will shoot out of the ground and deal damage. The longer you hold the B button, the farther the vine will go. And of course it'll stop at the ledge. Obstagoon's side special is going to be Night Slash. Obstagoon rears back and then goes forward with a powerful slash of his claw. It seems pretty standard, but here's the catch. Night Slash in the games has a pretty high chance of getting a critical hit. So, when Obstagoon uses this move, he has a 12.5% chance to crit, which of course will just deal more damage and knockback. Gotta love that RNG in your RPG, baby! Night Slash! Don't let Obstruct hit you, Night Slash! 'cause he's gonna crit you nights. Anyway, Toxtricity's side special is gonna be Sludge Bomb, which is pretty much like Inkling's Bomb, where they hurl it forward in an arcing motion, but it'll explode on impact, even if it hits a character or the stage. And
Rillaboom's
side special, to make you think I'm copying Charizard instead of Donkey Kong, is gonna be Wood Hammer. Rillaboom will attach his drumsticks to the drum and then do a powerful swing forward, with a little less startup than Amir has, but it will also cause recoil damage. Obstagoon, reflecting his old Route 1 nature, is gonna have his up B be Fury Swipes. Obstagoon will do 2 slashes in the air to gain altitude with his claws, and if you mash A, he'll slash up to 5 times and go even higher. Toxtricity's up special is going to be Sludge Wave, which is, that's just waterfall. And Rillaboom's up B is gonna be Slam. He'll take his drum and leap high into the air before coming back down and slamming it onto the ground, of course giving it its namesake. And as nobody saw coming, the down B is going to be Member Change. The order is going to be Obstagoon to Amp Toxtricity to Rillaboom to Low-Key Toxtricity, and then back to Obstagoon. And for their final smash, it'll be something that I am calling G-Max Concert. The band will appear in the background in their Gigantamax forms, except Obstagoon, as Rillaboom causes tree roots to shoot up on the farthest sides of the stage, bringing them closer to the middle, followed by the 2 Toxtricities slamming their guitars onto the stage, even closer to the center. And finally, it'll end with Obstagoon delivering a powerful shout in the center, which was capable of screen KOing, after which the band will simply return to normal. The Maximizer's first ult will of course be their default colors, and their second ult will be their shiny forms. The third ult is based on Hoenn Pokemon, and the fourth ult is based on the Gorillas. Because, get it? Because there's a gorilla in the band, and the Maximizers in the band. Ain't that pretty cool? Anyway, the next ult will have him be all pink, which is a reference to Pink Floyd. The next ult will have them be entirely blue, based on Blue Oyster Cult. The next one will be entirely green, like Green Day. And the final ult will be pure gold, which is a reference to Golden Earring. Yeah, I'm such a genius. For the Kirby Hats, the first one will have him with Obstagoon's face paint and mohawk. The next one will have Toxtricity's hair and skin flaps for amped and low-key. And the final one will just have Rillaboom's hair. For Obstagoon's first taunt, he'll flicker his tongue out like Gene Simmons. Don't you want to give that lovely face a kiss? For a second taunt, he'll laugh and shout to the sky, which is an animation from Sword and Shield. And for his third taunt, he puts his arms together and stomps the ground. For Amp Toxtricity, his first taunt will have him energetically play the guitar. His second taunt will do Mick Jagger's Rooster Strut. And keeping up with the references, his third taunt will be Chuck Berry's Duck Walk. For Low-Key Toxtricity, he'll play the guitar a little more casually. You know, like he's sitting under a tree on your college campus, trying to impress a girl. His second taunt will have him wave his head around with his tongue out, which is an animation he does in Pokemon Camp. And for the third taunt, he'll scoff and roll his eyes at the opponent, which reflects his bad boy attitude. For Rillaboom's taunts, his first one will be a fist pump, which is a reference from Pokemon Camp. His second taunt will be a hair flip, which is also from Pokemon Camp. And for his third taunt, he'll raise both drumsticks to the sky. For the victory animations, the first one will have Obstagoon laugh and then slash at the camera.
The Maximizers wins!
For the next one, Amp Toxtricity will play a solo and slowly go to his knees.
The Maximizers wins!
For the next one, Low-Key Toxtricity will scoff and strum, raising his other arm into the air.
The Maximizers wins!
And for the next one, Rillaboom will be on his drum before throwing it upwards and catching it while posing.
The Maximizers wins!
And the final one will have the entire band play before striking a pose together, similar to the back of the jacket that you can get in Sword and Shield. Whew! And that does it for the Maximizers moveset. But we're not done yet. As you recall from the last video, we're making a whole new challenger pack. And with that comes much more than just a character. I think the Maximizer stage should be pretty obvious. Winden Stadium. It'll seem like a standard walk-off, but every now and then a ray of light will appear in the center of the stage, and whoever touches it first will become Dynamax, which just means that they'll get bigger for a short time. Now this is one of my most wanted things on the assumption that we're getting a Gen 8 Pokemon in Fighter Pass 2. I want a Ball Guy Mii costume. I want it, the people want it, everyone wants it, we love Ball Guy. But, as I just said, it's Pokemon. And with a new gen, comes new Pokemon, baby! I think this challenger pack needs to add some Galar Pokemon to the Pokeball item. And I'm just gonna list off a few that I think would be pretty cool. Of course, you gotta have Zacian, who would hop around and use Behemoth Blade, kinda like Keldeo. But Zacian would also have an active counter against melee attacks from the front of him. In a similar vein, we would also have Zamazenta, who would hop around and do charge attacks with Behemoth Bash. And at the same time, he would actively reflect projectiles from the front. For representing more of the regional variants, I think we should have Galarian Stunfisk. When the Pokeball hits the ground, nothing comes out of it, but you hear this sound. And Stunfisk hides on a random spot on the stage. When an opponent lands on said spot, Stunfisk will snap shut and deal massive damage. I also think it would be really cool to add Carkol to the game, who would continuously roll back and forth on whatever platform he's on, having a fiery hitbox when touched, and grounding people that are on the ground when he drives by. Because if there's one thing that I know people love in Smash, it's Roller. And of course, it wouldn't be Galar if I didn't mention the main man, Sirfetch'd. I feel like Sirfetch'd would be really similar to the Black Knight Assist trophy, but he'd be a little slower. But at the same time, he'd also have a much longer reach with that big sword of his. And he'd end his appearance with a powerful Meteor Assault off stage. And last, but certainly not least for the new Pokemon, we need Snum. Snum would be a lot like Pyukumuku, and he can be picked up and thrown. However, he'd have a hitbox on the body and not, use the tongue thing. And when he's thrown and hits somebody, he would have a chance to freeze the opponent. So it's basically like a reusable Mr. Freezy. Well, that's all of the new Pokemon, so let's move on to the spirits. I know there are already Sword and Shield spirits in Smash Ultimate, but I'm adding some more. I'd say there aren't enough. The first, of course, would be Wooloo, which could be a Jigglypuff who favors neutral B, as well as having a sleep-inducing floor. Next would be Flapple, which is a Ridley who gets stronger after eating food. And of course, apples would spawn along the stage. Next we have Grapploct, which would be an Inkling who has very strong throws. But also, you have low buoyancy and drown easily. Then we have Dreadnought, which is a Bowser who is hard to make flinch. Then we have Phalanx, which is 5 Kirbys with drills. Short and sweet, just like him. Eventually, we're getting into even harder spirits now, with Mr. Rhyme, a Pac-Man holding a warp star and loves the taunt, as well as having an icy floor. As well as a new Pokemon, I'm also giving a spirit to Surfetch, which will be a small Falco with, the Surfetch Pokeball and a back shield. And when he throws it down, he'll pick up a Killing Edge. Now getting even harder spirits, we're starting to get some legendaries. Now we have Zarude, which is Galar's newest monkey. It'll be a Donkey Kong who has powerful fist attacks and 2 Ivysaurs that favor up special. Then we have Urshifu. It'll be 2 Mii Brawlers wearing the bear hat and the white fighter uniform, one that favors the counter throw and the forward smash, and one that favors flashing Mach Punch and onslaught. And finally, the legend spirit is going to be Eternatus, which will be a giant dark Samus who will randomly get their final smash, and you are tiny. Oh boy! You are now free to move about the cabin because that is everything for the Maximizers. As we know, most Pokemon gens do get a rep in Smash, and under the assumption that Smash 6 is not going to happen, it seems like DLC is going to be the best way for Galar to get anything. And I think there is no better choice than to represent the music, the starters, the regional variants, and Toxtricity, all wrapped up into one package, and I think that is the perfect way to represent Generation 8. And that will do it. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for sticking with me for this very long moveset. If you have an obscure character that you would like to see given a moveset, post them in the comments below, and I may take a crack at them sometime.